Adam Lerner, BrooklynPhotoWorks.com, and today we have another Squarespace website portfolio review. And if you guys want to send your website in for a review, just use the link right below and send it over and I will check it out. Also, a lot of you guys know how much I love Squarespace. I use it for my own website. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And if you guys want to check it out and even save 10% on your website, go to squarespace.com/Adam and you will be able to save 10%. In fact, you can go there, try out Squarespace for 2 weeks fully functionally, and then at any point during that time or when that time's just over, use the code Adam and you will save 10% on your website, which is awesome. All right, let's get into looking at a website today and giving it a review. This website comes from a Danish photographer, Klaus Saul, who is not using Squarespace. And there are some very quirky things about his website that just about functionality that I guess bother me because it lacks a lot of that really great functionality in Squarespace. However, his photography more than makes up for the lack of functionality, but there are some issues that we need to discuss, and let's dive right in. Boom, here we go. Presentation-wise, just looking at this site offhand, I think that it really pops. And this is without really taking in all of the imagery, but just seeing all the different types of things that we have going on here. We've got terrific color. We've got really sharp black and white. We've got a lot of contrast, but we've also got some really nice kind of imagery, just aesthetically, looking from portraits to some lifestyle, to some kid stuff, to some music. And there's a lot of water in here. So either Klaus loves water or he lives by the water. I'm going to guess maybe a little bit of both. All right, so let's dive in here. And right now, you can see this page is in Danish. Would you like to translate it? Now, I had to use Google Chrome because Google Chrome automatically translates. And yes, I want to translate. So here we go. We've got galleries, about, blog, prices, switch contact. I'm not sure what that means, but anyway, it doesn't matter. One thing I'm not crazy about is that there's a customer gallery, a personal gallery, and then there's all of these different pricing galleries. So let's just start with the primary gallery here. Okay, so we got in here, we've got an experimental shot, I would imagine. I don't know if it's advertising. It's pretty cool. I like this kind of water thing, and he's obviously using water, he's using lighting. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit dark in here, whatever. I don't want to drill into it. I think it's cool. I think we need more space. I think we need some more options, but it's a cool shot, and I like that he's trying out some cool stuff here. Yeah, I wish that the arrow keys worked, but they don't. Kayaking shot. Yeah, I don't know if this is like, portfolio worthy. This is a cool music shot. It's a little bit tilted, skewed, and it's kind of shot from the pit. And you guys know how I feel about that, shot from the pit. Like, any photographer that gets a press pass shoots from the pit. And look, you can make some amazing images from the pit, don't get me wrong, but I think it's just okay. This one's kind of interesting. The lighting's a little bit weird. It's kind of like that underlighting. Again, it's a cool water shot, but I feel like it's really, really crop tight. I want to see a little bit more. This one's kind of interesting. It's really like the dark areas go really, really, really dark. And we've got catch lights from the actual lighting, which I've seen in a couple of different spots, So we've got our primary light going in one direction. I don't know. I feel like we've got all these different elements here. We've got the guy on the bike, we've got the cigarette smoke, we've got the bike, and everything's just kind of like really crushed on the light. I want to see maybe a little bit more detail in here, yet keeping that vibe. And I'm not crazy about the catch lights in the sunglasses, but we'll get to that. This looks like a nice shot, but I guess to me this is more like Instagram or blog-ish. I don't know if this is like your primary. It looks like a vacation shot where you shot a couple of kids, that you saw that were really cute. The processing's nice. Nice kind of portrait, kind of lifestyle vibe. I'd like to maybe see a little bit more of this kind of action. Yeah, this to me is like, look, I don't know who this was because I know it's not you because I've seen your profile shot. you know, I've seen a lot of shots of yours where the light is very high on the side and one side kind of goes out, and it's a 2-light setup. It's pretty nice, but let's keep going. This is the one that really kind of struck me, this officer. You can see that, you know, we've got the catch light of the light. It's really like kind of high and off to the side. There's another kind of a side light coming in over here, lighting the side of his face, but there's like a band of darkness in the middle of his face. I don't love that. And I also don't love that his arms kind of disappear into the background. But it's cool. I like that you're playing with lighting. I just would like to see the light a little bit more frontal, and I'd like to lose that reflection, that glare in the glasses, which is not that hard to do. You know, you could have just told your subject to maybe just tilt his chin down, because you can see his chest is puffed out and his chin is out, which is what dudes typically do for portraits. And a little bit of a chin down could have maybe resolved that issue of the reflection. Another water shot. Guy with an axe and a suit. Don't really know what's going on there. This guy looks like he probably does a lot of yoga. Yeah, it's another one of those weird kind of dark areas with the light area. It's interesting, but I'd like to see more of this kind of thing. Let's just keep going. This one's kind of cool. This one, the light was literally like probably like right here. Boom. You can see the catch lights. The guy's got really what look to be, you know, nice blue eyes that you can't really tell. There's some buttons along here that are really fading out. You know, I kind of want to see more of this full beard. It's cropped really tightly. You know, so look, these I'm being highly critical, but I like what I'm seeing. Not quite crazy about this. Again, this to me is an Instagram kind of a shot, maybe not a gallery shot. Same thing with this one here. Same thing even with this one here. You know, I need more of a story. You know, this is a cool portrait. I feel like it's a little bit underexposed, and the light was probably really front and center and like very much overhead. And you've got tremendous fall off on the face. I feel like the light maybe should have just shifted down a little bit, lit the crown of the face a little bit nicer, and the expression is a little bit off. I think we could have potentially gotten a better expression out of this guy. Again, one of those kind of from stage, you know, cool kid shot. I like that shot. I like the rolling of the eyes, and I think it's interesting. But again, I think that the stronger shot is when the eyes really make that kind of that impact, that connection with the viewer. More like this. Nice shot. Again, big beardy dude. I feel like it goes really, really dark. You know, I feel like there could have been a little bit more fill. I do like that it's a little bit more frontal, although I still want to see more frontal and less of this kind of shadowing going on over here. Another what seems to be a vacation shot. Not quite sure what this is, but you know, it's kind of cool. Cool expression. Another one of these experimental water shots, snake guy. All right, so look, that's kind of enough. We don't need to go through every darn picture on here. Let's go into personal. Actually, that was personal. So customers, okay, customers. All right, there you go. So I was on the personal page. Well, whatever. Nice looking portrait. I mean, again, these things look really great, you know, in an ensemble. And here's that same guy. This to me is a better portrait, although I would have liked, you know, the same kind of vibe with eyes to camera for this shot here. I think the processing's pretty nice. You know, it's a good corporate shot. And, you know, speaking of good corporate shots, there was another one that I saw in here. And, yeah, like this one. It's another good corporate shot. Good corporate shot here as well. Not crazy about the Dutch angle. You guys know how I feel about that. I don't feel like you need to tilt the camera to make an image more interesting. I don't really see an architectural or some sort of an element in this image that requires camera tilting. So for me, I don't necessarily understand it, but the image is good. It's solid, you know, and yeah, you know, it works for that purpose. So you know, we look in the gallery here. We've got a little bit of everything. You know, we've got some portraits, we've got some corporate, we've got some baby shots, we've got some wedding stuff. I feel like it's a good preview, but I want to see more. And if you go into the prices section, you know, that's where, you know, you go in and you see a lot more imagery. You know, you know, like that was professional stuff. This is wedding stuff. So I'm just thinking that, let's just go into portrait. All right. Yeah, here's another shot of the smoking motorcycle guy. Actually, this thing looks like it's kind of in the slideshow thing. It's moving on its own, which I don't like. Baby photos. Yeah, those are fine. And look, at the bottom of all of these is the pricing. So here's a couple of different things that I want to mention. Number one, I really don't like the functionality of this site, and I feel like the site needs to be like entirely reorganized because it's really frustrating to manage and to navigate. And when you're building a website, you want to make it really, really easy on the people that are coming to visit you. Obviously, you're a professional photographer. You offer a whole range of services. So I would like to see you make this really easy for potential clients that are going to come and hire you for portraits or headshots or commercial stuff or weddings or baby stuff, whatever it is, make it really easy. And maybe what that means is that rather than having like this general gallery that's all over the place and then like this extensive price list, let's flip things around. Let's have galleries that are devoted to the different types of photography that you do. And then maybe in the pricing, you could just say prices available upon request, or you could just kind of give a ballpark on a bunch of different areas on like a one sheet, or even what I even recommend is, look, I don't like putting pricing on a website. I think pricing on a website cheapens your work. And I think that it also makes it difficult because either you're pricing higher than your competition and people are going to shop around, or you're undercutting your competition and then you're lowering, the bar for pricing in your region or whatever the case may be. But if you absolutely must have pricing on your website, I think it should be like a PDF or something that's buried, or something that you could say email for pricing, and then you send people a PDF one sheet where you outline the different pricing options that you have for the particular services that you offer. But I don't feel that you should devote all of those galleries to pricing. And since you've got so much work on those galleries, I'd rather see those galleries individualized so that people can properly navigate your site and be able to see the kind of work that you offer. I also don't like these galleries that move on their own. I think that that's really distracting and aggravating. If I want to just look at a picture, I don't want the picture jumping around, and I want to be able to do it on my own terms. Let's see, we got the blog here. Blog looks good. Looks like you're keeping up with the blog, which is fantastic. I know that requires a lot of work. And the cool thing about the blog is that you can go and you can talk about behind the scenes stuff, and you can go into a little bit like that. Let's go to your about page. All right, always good to have a nice photo up there. The photo looks nice. Again, it's the same kind of lighting that you love, which is that kind of side lighting with one side off to the side. That's your signature. That's your thing. That's cool. I would like, again, just to see the crown of the face like lit a little bit more solidly. I like the direction of the light. I just don't like the half and half. I think it's a little bit, bizarre. Not bizarre, I should say. Let me take that back. I don't think it's a little bit bizarre. I just think that it's a little bit more flattering when both of the eyes are lit and more of the crown is lit, and then there's fall off maybe to one side. Visual storyteller. I like being out in the woods when I'm not in the studio. So yeah, this is a nice thing. It doesn't really say much about anything, but let's see. For me, taking pictures is a way I capture and express feelings, at the same time tell a story. It's a way to catch a short second for me to keep it forever. It's one of the things that makes my photography so strong in my eyes. Yeah, look, I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to be genuine. You're trying to be friendly. You're trying to be approachable. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if you need 4 paragraphs to do this. I think you could keep it, maybe simplify it a little bit more, and just say, look, I'm a visual storyteller. If I'm not in the studio, I'm out exploring nature, enjoying the city. I'd love to work with you, whatever. Keep it simple. But you know what? I think that you're onto something really nice with all of this. You've obviously got a lot of customers, which is terrific. Your Instagram, which you've incorporated very nicely in here, looks really nice, and you've kept your professional work in there, which I think is a really terrific thing, because if people do find you on Instagram, then they can see that that's the kind of work that they can expect. So there you go, guys. Klaus Saul from Denmark. Very nice site, very nice professional site, and I think that the biggest shortcoming that you have with your site is a total lack of organization. And I know that you probably feel that it's organized, but I think that for a customer, it's very frustrating because it's all over the place. And I would rather be able to see the different types of work, navigate them easily, and then if I want pricing, either have a one sheet or just be able to email you and just say, hey, can you send me pricing? And you just shoot me a PDF with pricing and it's done, and we go from there. So there you go, guys. Also, if you guys are looking to build your own website, use the link squarespace.com/Adam and you will save 10% on that website. And Squarespace is absolutely awesome. You can use it for 14 days, fully functionally, absolutely free. They have fantastic customer support. They even have e-commerce if you want to get into that. It's a really terrific platform. I can't recommend it highly enough. If you want to submit your website for a review, just use the link below. That's it for now, and we'll see you soon.